Yo, what is going on, you guys? Orion Tech Tips here, back at it with another PC build. In today's build, we have a high-end $2,600 PC build. So this is going to be a high-end PC build that you can play all AAA titles at high resolutions, high frame rates. You can even do like some 4K gaming. However, this isn't overkill, so this isn't like a waste of money, because games will use all this power, but it still is a high-end PC build. So yeah, $2,600. This isn't like a crazy $4 grand, $5 grand, $10 grand PC build that we've done in the past. So this is going to be my last PC build I do for a while. Then we're going to do the the pre-built video I promised you guys right after this video. So that is going to be next. So I know someone wanted to do that. And yeah, that is going to be the next video. And then after that, I'll do some other, I might do some like gaming stuff. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, comment down below like if you want to see a tech video, a gaming video, or like something else. So yeah, okay, so for our CPU, we are using the Ryzen 7 1700X. Sorry, not the 1700X, the 3700X. This is an 8-core, 16-thread processor, a boost clock of, 4.7, TDP of 65. I believe it runs, a boost clock of 4.4 GHz, a core clock of 3.6 GHz, and it runs on a 7 nanometer process, which is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. For cooling that, we have a Be Quiet Pure Loop 360 liquid cooler. And for the last one, we had a slightly weaker cooler, our last PC build that we did, the $1,500 build. So this is like 1,000 more than that, not quite double. So you will get actually more performance out of this because we have a more powerful cooler, and on top of that we have a more powerful motherboard. So this is going to be definitely a step up from the last PC build that we did. However, I still think the last one gives you the most bang for your buck. However, if you have a little bit more money, or sorry, not a little bit, $1,000 more to work with, and you want more performance, then this is definitely great for that. Your PC will certainly be using all of this performance if you get it. So yeah, for the motherboard, we have the Asus TUF X570 Plus Wi-Fi ATX motherboard. I'll show you guys a few photos of this very, very nice board. X570, so a very high-end chipset, as the Asus Aurora Sync, if you are into the fancy RGB colors. I'm not really, but you guys might be into that. So then Bluetooth 5.0 is supported, like any high-end feature you would want, like crazy fast. I believe this board might even have like Wi-Fi 6, which is the highest, does it? Just says Wi-Fi Plus. But yeah, I'm guessing this is a super high-end. Oh, Wi-Fi 5, okay. It's still really, really fast, though, even without Wi-Fi 6. And then if you want faster Wi-Fi, just plug in Ethernet, and then it will be even faster. Okay, so and then for RAM, we have our G-Skills Ripjaws. Oh, and then for our motherboard, sorry, I forgot to mention, it supports up to 128 gigabytes of RAM at 4400 megahertz. For RAM, we have G-Skill Ripjaws 32 gigabytes. Yes, we had 32 gigabytes in the last build. However, that was, I'm not sure if it was 3000 or 3200, but this is, or it might have even been slower than that. It might have been 3000, I believe. Yeah, so 3000 megahertz. We had 16 gigabytes of G-Skill Ripjaws, 32 gigs DDR4. 3000 megahertz in the last build, but this one we're getting a step up G-Skill Ripjaws 32 gigabytes and 4000 megahertz CL18 memory, and the other one was CL16 memory. So definitely a huge step up. We still get 32 gigabytes of RAM, and the reason for that is just because when you're gaming, you're really not going to be using more, and then if I throw in 64, you'd be spending more money but not really getting any more performance. So I don't really think there is a that would really make sense if you are trying to actually build a decent, I don't really want to say budget, because this certainly is a high-end system, but if you don't want to waste money, I'll just say, or if you want, I don't want to say the most bang, I'll just say if you don't want to waste money, even though I'm sure there's a better term for that. So yeah, great performance. This will definitely get the best performance. If you do want, so I'd recommend you can overclock this, because we all have the parts to support that. You can overclock it to 4400 megahertz, sorry. And if you don't want to do that, you can spend the extra money from getting, you can get 4400 megahertz RAM. However, it is expensive. You're going to spend over $100 extra to get that, which I personally don't think it's worth it if you can just overclock the RAM. Alright, and then for our storage, we actually are kind of balling out on this one. We get, unlike the last one, it had a hard drive and SSD. However, this time we are actually getting not only more storage, but also fancier, faster storage. So instead of that like cheap, like unnamed SSD from the last build, which is 500 gigabytes, we get a Samsung 970 EVO Plus M.2 2280 NVMe solid state drive. It's a lot faster. We're going with the 970 EVO Plus instead of the 980 Pro, and the reason for that is just because the price is quite significant and the performance really isn't for gaming. It is for, I mean, if you're trying to do 8K video editing and you have like a ton of effects going on, like if you've ever seen like a How to Beast YouTube video, that's actually would be like a really good example of something that would need a ton, like, of something that would need, like, really fast storage. But, I mean, other than that, yeah. And then for our mass storage, our spinning disk, instead of the slower Seagate Barracuda 4 terabyte drive, we are doubling the storage, and we are also getting a Seagate Iron Wolf 8 terabytes, which is double the capacity, and it has a faster read and write speed. Okay, we can, okay. Show the rest of our parts. For the GPU, we're getting an RTX 3080 Ti, 12 gigabytes. This has 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 storage. We get a very, very nice triple fan design with a pretty beefy heatsink, and it does have some LED lights if you're into that. Pretty cool. I mean, there's really isn't much to talk about here, but I mean, just the performance with this thing is absolutely crazy. It is expensive. I am fully aware of that. You can get like a 3090 MSRP for like cheaper than this. Unfortunately, though, with Ethereum mining, I keep mentioning that, but it's just shocking how many people don't know. And in person, I still get questions, oh, well, why are the graphics card prices so high? Even yesterday, I was talking to my friend, and he's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm looking for, like, a really cheap graphics card to upgrade my 1050, and I'm like, well, you should have done that a year ago. And he had no idea the cryptocurrency or the Ethereum mining that was going on, and then I just had to explain, like, a lot of it, like, what's going on with the mining. So yeah, and then for our case and power supply, again, personal preference, I want the Lion Li PC-011 Dynamic ATX full tower case. So yeah, like in the name, this is a full tower case, so it is super easy to build in, and it looks very nice. It's definitely a pretty big case, so you can fit a ton of stuff. So if you have like crazy liquid cooling and you need like a ton of heat pipes, this will absolutely support that. $150. So yes, this is certainly a more expensive case than I would use in like one of the more budget friendly builds. So yeah, I don't like, this certainly isn't a mid-range. This is a high-end, but when I say high-end, people sometimes think 10 grand plus. So maybe like a mid-range to high-end is what I'll call this. And then for our power supply, we have the Corsair RM 850 watt, fully certified, fully modular ATX power supply. Sorry. Can look at some photos of oh, there's only two. All right. But yeah, I mean, we don't really need, I mean, estimated wattage is 561. Obviously, we're going to use more than that for like overclocking. However, if you're wondering like why didn't I pick out a 1,000 watt power supply, it's just to save money. And you're probably not going to use that, at least not with these parts. Maybe if you upgrade the GPU, the CPU, the RAM, and all the storage, then okay, sure, upgrade your power supply to 1,000 watts, but that certainly isn't happening anytime soon. And quite frankly, if you have the money to do that, you have the money to build a completely higher end system than this. And then for the total, this comes out to $2,688.92. So yeah, I almost called it a $2,500 build, but I mean, I have to call it a $2,600 build because it's $2,600. If I called it a $2,500 build, that would be misleading, so I probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, anyway guys, this will definitely do 1440p and 4K gaming at 60 plus frames per second. I mean, even if you're playing Cyberpunk 2077, you'll still be fine. I was watching Tech Deals, I believe, and then he was like saying how like you need like a RTX 3090 to play it at like 1440p at a decent frame rate. But what he was referring to is like 1440p, all the settings cranked to the max at 100 plus FPS, not 60 FPS. So even at 1440p with the 3080 Ti, maybe you're okay. Maybe you game at 1080p high refresh rate, I don't know. But even at 1440p out or at 4K, if you turn down the settings, you should be fine with you should get like 60 frames per second, and if you want more than that, you can just turn down the settings and then you should get a higher frame rate than that. But yeah, Cyberpunk is a demanding game. Certainly, it is horribly optimized, but yeah, some people like it. Alright, yeah guys, alright, that's it. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any future video recommendations that you want to see. And yeah, alright guys, peace out.